and welcome to the Healthbeat Show right here in sunny Oakland, California. I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson.
And I'm Richard Jeffrey Watson.
And I've had a lot of experience with athletes, been in practice about 39 years, and today we're going to be talking about
Fitness over 50.
And Richard, you are a certified fitness trainer as well, right?
Correct.
Right here from Oakland. Now, where do you live?
In Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles, and one of the other things that you do, you are
a personal trainer, as well as, the singer and songwriter.
Singer and songwriter right here from Oakland, went to Oakland School of the Arts. Now, why are we talking about fit over 50?
Well, so just looking at the numbers of different races, we find that African Americans' life expectancy is actually 10 years less than other groups of races. So just trying to improve the health of the Black community is really important to us, and that's our goal here.
That's the main thing. You know, when you hit 50 plus, you're in the third quarter of life, so to speak. If you make it to 70, which African Americans typically don't, maybe African American women do, you're in the fourth quarter of life.
Yeah.
So the main causes of death really are heart disease, cancer, strokes. Of course, COVID-19 had a lot to do with it, and unintentional injuries like motor vehicle accidents. We know as African Americans as well that there's a lot of diabetes as well.
Correct.
So what do you think would be the 8 healthy guidelines? You always hear me talk about those.
Yeah, for sure. Well, the first one is prayer and meditation.
Prayer and meditation. The second one would be to read and gain knowledge.
Yep, and then the third one would be eat to live, don't live to eat.
That's right. And the fourth one would be to rid yourself of addictions.
Correct, and then the fifth one would be exercise at least 30 minutes each day.
And that's what we're going to be doing today. We're also going to be talking about eating, just like Richard said. The sixth one would be getting enough rest, getting enough sleep, 8 hours of sleep.
Right. Awesome. And then number 7 would be to commune with nature, get outside.
That's what we're doing today. We're communing with nature. And then number 8, and this is the 8th one, would be to get your regular physical exams. Okay?
Awesome.
So 1, read and gain knowledge. 2 is to, first, 1 is prayer and meditation. 2, read and gain knowledge. 3, eat to live, don't just live to eat. 4, rid yourself of addictions. 5 is to get exercise. 30 minutes.
30 minutes a day at least.
A day, every day, if you can, some kind of exercise. And then the next one is going to be 7, or 6 is going to be to get 8 hours of sleep. 7 is going to be to commune with nature like we're doing today. And 8, get your regular checkups. Now, we looked at what are some of the categories that will tell us if you are fit or healthy later in your life. And what are some of those things that could tell us, because a lot of people will say, well, I think I'm healthy, but what would be some of those things?
Yeah. So, a healthy person, whether you're, my age, 21, or 50, right? We want to make sure that we have a good amount of flexibility, right?
And that's a key thing, is flexibility. Richard is 21, I'm 68. And so when you get older, past 50, balance becomes a major issue. A lot of people are falling. They have difficulty with balance. So if you have good balance, that's also an indicator of good health.
Yeah, for sure. And what could definitely help with that is muscular strength and strength training.
And we'll be doing that today, muscular strength. A lot of times people don't think that when you're older, all you need to do is walk, but your muscles get weak, your bones get weak, you get fractures, you fall. So just like Richard said, muscular strength, but maintaining a good walking speed too, at least 1 meter per second if you were walking.
And this is what people would call like steady state cardio. So, walking at like a medium pace for yourself, is challenging, but you're going to be doing that for a good amount of time, maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes.
And the other important thing about trying to live long, it's a psychological thing, particularly if you're trying to be fit? Like, how do I try to get up and exercise regularly? You know, you may not lose weight, and you may get frustrated. Say, doggone it, I didn't lose any weight. My muscles aren't getting any bigger, and you want to stop. So you got to have a good psyche, have your mind set, have a good purpose to live.
For sure, for sure.
Also, a healthy heart rate. A normal heart rate is between 60 and 100 at rest. So if your heart rate is way too slow, way too fast, that could be an indicator of bad health. And of course, one of the things that we want to say today also is that when you get into an exercise regime, talk to your doctor about it.
Yeah.
You know, because if you have diabetes, for instance, exercise will lower your blood sugar.
Yeah.
It'll lower your blood sugar.
Yeah, for sure.
And then what about the immune system?
Yeah. So what I was learning is if you have like, as well as high blood pressure, I believe, while doing movements that can be on the ground like planks, that's something that we try to avoid because, you know, it may cause people to get dizzy or faint, you know. And so we try to avoid that, especially in personal training. We'd like to, you know, take people's background into consideration, what injuries they have, things that may hold them back while they're working out, and figuring out how we can work around that and also strengthen those areas that they struggle with where they have those injuries, right? So, yeah, doing a doctor's checkup can be one of the ways that you can get some information on what parts of your bodies are hurting, what's going to be challenges for you in your workout, and you can just bring that to a personal trainer, and yeah, they'll be happy to work with that.
And we hope to give you some exercises here that will help you to have a healthy weight. If you start getting in better shape, your immune system will be better, cholesterol will lower, diabetes will get under better control.
Yeah.
And you'll be more flexible, have good balance, like we just said. And the other thing that we'll be talking about today a little bit is a healthy diet, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And then what about water, Richard?
Yeah. So for me, what I like to do is I keep just a big jug with me all the time. So throughout the day, I'll just be drinking that. I'm also a singer, right? So just making sure that I'm always hydrated is important. So in the morning, just make sure that you have water right next to you. So it's very accessible, and so you can start your day off right? Because that's what's going to set you up for later in the day.
And another interesting thing about water, this particular water that we have here is called alkaline water. So what does that mean? That means that when you exercise and you burn energy with your muscles, you build up, what do you build up?
Lactic acid.
Lactic acid, and it puts your body in an acidotic state. So your muscles don't work as good when they're acidotic. You get cramps. You may get skipped heartbeats. And later, when you go to bed at night, you might have cramps in your legs and things like that. But the normal pH in the bloodstream is 7.4. 7.4. This alkaline water is 9.5. So if the acid brings your pH down to 7, and you take alkaline that's 9.5, it'll bring your pH balance up to a normal range. And so when you think about drinking water when you're exercising, think about alkaline water. We also are going to be talking a little bit about eating. Correct. And we'll have Mrs. Watson make some healthy meals, show us. Now, when you eat, what kind of diet should a person, say, over 50 have? And they're trying to keep their weight down.
Right, so for everybody, right, there's no one diet that's going to work for everybody, right? Everybody's a different person. We all have different needs. We all have different things that we can stay consistent with. So a diet that you want to be able to adapt is one that you can be consistent. You know, typically one higher in protein to maintain muscle mass if you're trying to lose weight. Even if you're trying to gain some muscle mass, also having a higher intake of protein will help aid with that muscle growth. So that's one of the food groups I would really pay attention to, but to also make sure it's even and that you have carbs, fat, and definitely like a lot of vegetables to make sure that you're getting your micronutrients in, because proteins, carbs, and fats are just going to cover your macronutrients, and of course they have some micronutrients in there, but the vegetables are the things that are very rich in that. So that's just a rough idea of a diet that I would focus on, like, and what components of that diet I would prioritize. So yeah.
Now, you can add protein with protein powder.
Correct.
Like whey protein or
Yeah.
soy, something like that. But a lot of protein comes from meat, like chicken and steak.
Yeah.
Maybe beans, things
Yeah.
like that. And as Richard said, the vegetables are so important to get your vitamins in there, your B vitamins.
Yeah.
Those are going to be very important. And then your fruits. A lot of your fruits will have vitamins in them too.
Yep, exactly.
So now, at your age, how many calories do you burn just sitting still?
At least 2,500.
Yeah, at least 25.
At least. I'm pretty sure I burn a little more than that, but.
Well, so how much exercise would one have to do to lose a pound?
Yeah, so.
How many calories would they have to burn?
So at least to lose a pound within a week, it would be at least 500 calories below your maintenance. So what your maintenance is what you burn during the day at rest, or just throughout a normal day in general, to maintain your weight. So 500 calories below that is going to put you in a caloric deficit, and if you do that consistently for 7 days a week, you'll be losing 1 pound. If you want to lose 2 pounds, you can double that. But what I recommend is losing weight at a slow and nice pace so that you can keep it off. And yeah.
And so, and at my age, sitting down, we only burn like 1,500 to 1,700 calories a day. So he can eat a little bit more and it'll burn off just sitting down. If I eat the same meal, it may stick on me.
Yeah.
Through a thrifty gene, we have sodium retention, particularly in African Americans. So we have to figure out ways to either lower the caloric intake in our diet or burn more. So as Richard said, 500 calories a day will help you to lose a pound a week.
Yep, so that would be 3,500 calories throughout the whole week. So yeah, that's what that 500 a day adds up to. What I would also like to mention is building muscle is important even over 50, because it actually helps speed up your metabolism. That's one of the ways that you can actually speed it up, is because when you have more muscle in the body, right, it uses more energy. You use up more energy, and you're going to need more food to supply that energy that is now in your body that wasn't there before. So muscle building.
A lot of people don't understand that when you get older, you need to try to build muscle because your muscles atrophy. And I think one of the misconceptions I had, and a lot of other people have, is get on the treadmill for an hour and that's your total exercise. Well, that is good, but
it's great.
But your body gets used to that.
Exactly.
If that's all you do, right?
If that's all you do, when you're just going in every day doing an hour, that's great that you're doing that, and it's probably a lot of cardiovascular benefits and benefits to the heart that you're getting from that. But after that, where do you go, right? You're gonna go an hour and 30 minutes, 2 hours. That's great if you can do that, but that's a lot, and that's a lot of intensity just to start trying to meet your goal of losing weight, right? So that's why I recommend strength training first, because that's where you want to have the most energy, so you can reap the full benefits of gaining muscle within your workouts. And then I would do around 20 to 30 minutes on a treadmill. Maybe if you're just starting, maybe just 15. Right? Because you want to have somewhere to go after, you hit a plateau when you're trying to lose weight, maybe add another day in when you feel like you're stopping to lose weight, and still do 15 minutes, yeah. And just then when you feel like there's another plateau, you can up the time to 20 and so on. So that's kind of how it works. It's like a tool. Cardio is a tool for weight loss. You don't want it to be the main driver.
And today we're going to be doing several things. One, stretching, because when you're over 50, like myself, your back gets tight, your legs get tight. So Richard's going to show us how to do some stretching exercises. Some people can't really do heavy exercise in the gym and so on, so we'll be looking at some chair exercises that you could do seated, and they still will be strengthening and stretching. We'll look at some leg exercises. Yesterday I worked out with Richard, and boy, were my legs burning.
Yeah.
So lunges, squats, things like that. And then we'll use some weights, and we can use our own body and do some upper body exercises.
For sure, for sure.
So we got some real good stuff for you. Stay tuned. You're right here on the Healthbeat Show.
The Healthbeat Show, sponsored by Watson Wellness Water. Your health is your wealth.
Today, some of the things that we'll be talking about is a healthy diet. And right here, we've got some really nice fruit. We've got strawberries, blueberries, some watermelon, kiwi. And this morning, I actually put all of this in the blender. You can add coconut water to it. You can add just basic water to it. You can add low-fat milk to it to get the calcium in there. And then what is this, Richard?
Yeah, so it looks like what we got right here is a plant protein supplement, right? So it's getting its protein from plants like peas, beans, organic hemp seed protein. So this is something that you can take if you might be vegan, vegetarian, but also if you eat meat and stuff like that, this is still a good supplement. If you're struggling to reach your protein goals, this can aid with that.
So you can mix this in with your smoothie, blend it all up with some ice, and this particular one tastes really good. And I used all these particular fruits in it, and that can actually be a meal supplement. Each of these fruits probably, when I looked at them in the store, a bowl of them individually was about 60 calories each. This is 120 calories per scoop. So if you had 4 different fruits, that'd be 240, and then 120 with a scoop, 360. That might take up one of your whole meals for a day if, let's say, you're trying to do a 1,500 or 1,200 calorie diet. That will put you in a state that you can lose weight, and you feel good too. Correct. And it tastes good.
Yep.
All right, we're right here on the Healthbeat Show. Stay tuned. Okay, I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson right here with Fit Over 50 with none other than certified fitness trainer, songwriter, and singer, Richard Watson. And we are going to be doing some stretching exercises to start out with. Now, I'm sitting down because, some people have mobility issues, and you don't want to be in a situation where you say, well, I can't do it because, I can't stand up or I can't do this. So we're going to show you some for people who have mobility challenges and some who don't have mobility challenges. And why don't you tell us how we can begin stretching the upper body, Richard?
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is start by opening up the back, the rear delts, the traps. How we're gonna do this is we're gonna take a band, right? What you wanna do is have a reasonable amount of tension in it, right? But the goal is to pull apart outwards from your body, right? So we're going to start in the middle, we're gonna go out, and that'll be 1 repetition. Like I said, it's gonna open up the back, the traps, and the rear delts. So if you're gonna be doing any push-ups in your workout, right, and you're gonna be tightening your shoulders, which is what push-ups and pressing movements can do, this is a great contrast to do before your workout. So you're opening it up before you start to tighten up the shoulders. And you can also do this in between your sets of your workout or after you're done with your workout.
Now, if you don't have bands, you could actually just move your arms in that position, or you could put milk cartons in your hands just to strengthen your shoulders and your arms too.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cable fly, but the opposite, when people bring it in like this. So we're bringing it out.
My arms are tired already.
Yup. You're gonna feel it in your shoulders, feel it in your back. All right, good. So we can move on to the next one. It's a very similar motion in a way. So what we're gonna do is hold the band similarly. You wanna have a good amount of tension. What we're gonna do is, I call this around the world. So you're gonna start at the bottom here, bring it up, pull apart, bring it around. This is gonna really help open up those shoulders and give some flexibility. You can also do this with just a straight bar. A lot of gyms have straight bars in case you want to practice hinge movements or, yeah.
You could do it with a broom too, huh?
Yeah, you could do it with the broom. Anything that you have in the house that's like a straight bar, you can do. But yeah, you want to have a good amount of distance between your hands where you can at least go all the way around like we're doing right now. All the way around to the back.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you now.
So yeah, this is definitely working out the shoulders, but it's also a mobility movement, a dynamic stretch. So it covers a lot of different areas here. Awesome. Cool, so that's that movement. Now we're gonna start to getting into some leg exercises, some leg movements. This you can use using a chair, or you can also do it on flat ground. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a chair real quick and we'll get into it, all right? All right, so what we're gonna do first is we're gonna put your foot on the chair. Right, yep, so you want it to be facing to the side here. And then what we're gonna do is focus on putting your knee over your shoe. Right, so there's a common myth, right, that we don't wanna put our knees over our toes. But actually it's proven now that in the squat movement, it's actually very natural for the human body to do that in a functional way to move in a practice. So one thing we want to make sure is that our calf behind us is planted on the ground. So while we're leaning this knee forward and we're practicing on creating flexibility here in the ankle and in the knee, we want to make sure that there's we're feeling a stretch in the back of our calf of that leg that's planted on the ground. So you know,
your heel has to stay on the ground, right?
Yep.
You can't let it
for
come
both
off the ground.
for both feet. The one where the knee is going over, yeah, you want to go to as far as you can go without your heels lifting off the ground.
Okay.
All right, so what we're gonna do now is switch legs. Right, so leaning forward, bringing that knee over the toes. And yeah, you're just gonna do this for about 30 seconds. You know, stretching doesn't have to be something that's painful. It's just like lifting, it's something that you do and you gradually get better at every day. And you'll notice these movements will get easier and help you with other movements like your squats. All right, so this is a split stance, so you have to balance a little bit more from the left to the right. Keep that heel on the ground, maybe step a little closer so you can bring your knee over your toe, and keep going. Keep going. Keep that heel planted. There we go. So you're gonna move back and forth as many times as you can for 30 seconds. So yeah, those are an example of the exercises. There's 2 more dynamic movements that we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get a chair again. Like I said, you can do this with the bench, any stable surface, or elevated surface to be exact. I want you to stand up real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, so what you're gonna do is put your hands on the chair and you're gonna lean forward while keeping your calves planted on the ground, right? So our calves get really tight. A lot of people focus on trying to grow that muscle, and we wanna make sure that we're loosening that up. So in between your sets of your workouts, when you're doing calf raises, this is a good exercise to do as well. And yeah, I recommend these a lot for legs, and they're great. So
I can feel that in my gastrocs.
Exactly, so you're gonna feel a little pull.
So it's more of a stretch.
Yep. And then after this, I have one more dynamic movement to show you and stretch that's going to help us make sure that we have stability within our back and our core, as well as stretching out our hamstrings.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed ours.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
I'm Dr. Jeffrey Watson. You're watching the Healthbeat Show. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
So we're gonna go down.
So why don't you explain what we're getting ready to do?
All right, so a lot of issues that we see when people try to do squats or even just with their body weight is they have tight hips and they can't even get to depth, you know? They can't even get past this point, really. And so what we're trying to do is to help you guys get to a point where you can reach the most potential muscle growth from that movement, and that's to be able to reach depth within your squat. How can we do that? Well, we can loosen up the hips. One of the best ways to loosen up the hips is 90-90s. It's something that you can do on the floor. I recommend if you're doing it at home, get a mat, and we have this nice turf, so we'll be good today, all right? Let's get started. So we'll go down. So what you're going to do is have your feet just in front of you on the ground, and what I'm going to have you do is focusing while keeping your torso facing forward. You're going to rotate your hips to the left and to the right. You're kind of going to be making a V shape, right? So this is what it's going to look like. Right? It's trying to keep my torso straight as possible. And it's okay if you can't reach the bottom. I can't do it right now either, but it's something that over time that could be a goal for you to reach. Kind of like we were talking about with the treadmill. You don't want to start off going an hour a day because where can you go from that? But from here, right, I'm not able to touch the ground, but in the future, that's something that's a goal for us to see how are we making progress. So those are the 90-90s, right? Loosen up those hips. It's gonna improve your squat, all right? Appreciate you guys. We're tuning out.
You don't have to take my word, but I heard if you have your health, you have everything.